For joining me today. My name is Trista Pewapisconias. I am the Director of Indigenous Relations for Co-operatives First. Today we are doing a just a information session on Artisan co-op and some of the structures and opportunities. This will be an overview of Artisan Cooperative. And on May 31st, I have scheduled a 1.5-hour workshop. So I will be covering a few examples of artisan co-ops. So if you would like to participate in doing a deeper dive into this subject, please feel free to sign up on yourwaytogether.ca, and we'll be promoting it until the start of the workshop. So today I will do a PowerPoint presentation. This is being held both on Zoom and on Facebook Live. So if you have any questions, please just feel free, if you're in the Zoom, to type it in the chat, or you can ask, just ask at the end of the presentation, but there will be time to answer questions. So I will be going forward with the presentation right now. And if you could just please mute your line and unmute it when you have a question. Okay, so for those who are new to Cooperatives First or new to hearing about us, and you're here, I come from Cooperatives First. I'm the Director of Indigenous Relations. We are a business development organization based out of Saskatoon, but we work out of the 4 Western provinces, and we're created to bring awareness, education, and support to those who are interested in learning more about cooperatives and supporting people who are ready to establish their own cooperatives. So through our support, once you are in contact with us, we do have a dedicated relationship manager. We can host facilitated sessions to help people determine the vision, the structure, and how people will be working together. Determining the stakeholders who should be involved, and to ensure everybody is on the same page, because the most important thing when setting up a co-op are the people involved and working together. We also have tools and resources to help develop the business case. How are things going to be sold? How are people going to achieve the benefits they are seeking? So we do have that support, and we can do facilitated sessions with one of our team members. We also have incorporation support, where we can help with incorporating your co-op throughout the 4 Western provinces or even federally. We also have a board workshop. So once established cooperatives are up and running, but they still require some support or have questions, we do have a board workshop just to ensure that things go smoothly. We also do have governance support in a governance course, and we can have, there are business supports available. Sometimes we could fund business plans or feasibility studies based on the cooperative and how far along you get in the process. So yeah, as mentioned, these are some of our supports. We have yourwaytogether.ca website that highlights Indigenous cooperatives. We have a website called the Co-op Creator, where all the tools and resources, and it's a great resource to come in. And if you have specific questions on technical, as you're going through the process, or tools and templates, they're all shared to everybody on the Co-op Creator. And we also have, as I've mentioned, a governance course, Co-ops in Canada, Intro to Co-op, and our tools and resources and our support is free. So for people who are new to the co-op model, a co-op model is a business. It fits well within the other business models. So people are very aware of corporations, partnerships, sole proprietorship, and co-ops are one of those business models. Is the fourth business model. They are legal entities, and co-ops are owned by the members. It really enforces the one member, one vote rule. So everybody has a say. There's not one person who may get more say or more votes in the say of how the business should be run or how it should be structured, where each member have a share in the co-op. In a corporation, you could purchase amount of shares and get a majority of this voting. But really, when we see co-ops, we see when they are formed, and they are formed when people come together to meet a common need, and that would benefit the members. So it is a business that is created to benefit the members. So as I had mentioned before, the co-op members are the owners. And depending on the relationship with the membership and the co-op and the entity that they own, the co-op can hire staff to take on daily operations. Or the members can share management responsibilities. It really depends on how people want to work together. And it is up to the co-op members to decide how the structure is formed and who can become a member. So when I started working with cooperatives first and started working with different artisan co-ops, one of the first questions that is asked is people are aware of collectives, artist collectives, or artist co-ops. So a cooperative, like just to, a cooperative does refer to the specific ownership structure. So it is incorporated as a co-op, and each of the members own a piece of that business. A co-op could be a collective, but a collective doesn't necessarily have to be a co-op. So a collective could work as a nonprofit, where it is up to the board and their decisions. But a collective is more of how the members participate in management. But yes, the ownership would still be under the nonprofit status or the sole proprietor, or like a worker. So it really, it's a different type of legislation and formal structure that determines the co-op or the collective. So the collective members may not own and have as much say into the organization as a co-op member would. So some of the benefits of like the co-op structure is like you do own it. As a member, you do own a piece of the business, which makes it very transparent. Artists, producers are not like as long as they're engaged into how it's being run, that they do have that right to understand where the business is financially, um, the plans, how it's being run, who's involved, because you as a member you are an owner. Uh, when I have been talking to different people within artist cooperatives, one benefit that they really see in working together is the transfership of knowledge. Uh, as producers, individuals, as everybody, each person has gifts and abilities and certain uh, knowledge that they have. And sometimes it may help other people um, create more and uh, working together. You're actually collaborating. You're no longer competing. Yeah, there's power in numbers. You collectively working together, you may be able to bring and pool your resources to access bigger markets um, and share resources, share time, share capital. And instead of having to create your item, your product, and then having to worrying about like purchasing your goods to make your product, to selling, to finding buyers, to marketing, uh, to bookkeeping. Instead of having to do that all yourself, like running your small business, share. You could share within other groups, other artists, in creating these um, co-ops. Um, so there are many opportunities in working collectively. I've really, as being a customer, I actually feel more secure in purchasing from a collective or being able to work with people and guaranteeing the prices. Unfortunately, like I have seen times where people are not getting paid or have been paid for goods that they never received. So having that uh, satisfaction of knowing that people will be responsible to each other, and uh, it's a way of building trust. Uh, you can collaborate in different projects. Um, there's an idea co-op had was, as I had mentioned before, everybody is an expert in certain um, in different ways of art artistry. Not everybody's an expert. Uh, so talking to a group of people who are interested in starting a co-op, they're saying, well, one person sews, one person makes moccasins, one person beads, um, one makes jingle dresses. So why don't we create a co-op, work together and do like an entire person's regalia instead of doing piece by piece, taking it longer, but being able to collaborate. Subscription boxes. Uh, those have been like an emerging trend for the past few years. Seeing different, um, like through social media or call outs or working with larger organizations, when they want to give a meaningful gift, they usually say, well, I want to give out 200 lanyards. Who can develop that? Well, working as a cooperative, you have that network. You could build it and reach those markets and being able to sell to larger organizations. Tourism. When you're going out to any type of tourist destinations. When you go into a gift shop, you want to see authentic artwork. You want to purchase. You want to support local, and you want to be and as artists, you want to sell in these areas and not have to compete with authentic Canadian Indigenous artwork that's coming in from overseas. It's a way, like, tourists want to come here and bring something back to their home that's authentic. So in this next area, I'm just kind of gonna highlight some of the co-op structures that have been commonly used throughout North America. The reasoning behind the different structures is it really depends on how people want to work together. That is the important thing about co-ops and how they is they could be structured. They are very versatile. And it's when people come together with a common purpose and a way that fits them to work together is how these ones are built. The most common is a marketing cooperative. So it gives artists the ability to sell either under one brand or out of one location or distribution network. Artists have the ability to take on larger orders, and artists can determine the selling price or how they want to sell. So the example I have here is the Authentic Rich Treasures of Zuni out in New Mexico. They actually have a gallery. Each member works within the gallery based on their comfort of working within the public. And how they work is they sell their items, but they work on a percentage. So a percentage of what the goods they sell goes back into the co-op to cover the cost of rent, utilities, anything that the co-op itself takes on. And everybody works volunteer hours to work. And so there's no need to actually pay for staff. And they also sell collectively through a store and through online. So a marketing co-op can establish itself by working through one of these channels. Very similar to a marketing co-op, and sometimes they can be named interchangeably, is a producer co-op. So once again, the artists collectively sell pieces through a specific channel to meet large orders. And it actually gives negotiating power back to the artist because they are the steady supply. The producers can spend their time creating work and employing staff to work on operational aspects, so that takes the mind off billing and collections, but yet they still have an ownership, so they still know what's going on within the business, and they have a right to know what's going on in the business and how things are being sold. One of the oldest cooperatives in this area is the Dorset Fine Arts out of Baffin Island in Nunavut that have been around since the 1950s, and the artists from Nunavut are selling through their cooperative here through galleries worldwide. So they are able to have the supply and sell internationally. A bulk purchasing co-op is one way that artists could work together. And it's exactly how it sounds. It is agreements that individuals come together just to purchase wholesale. This does not have to apply just to art, but a variety of goods. So just to save yourself costs, individual input costs, because the prices of everything is going up. So taking advantage of beads or thread or even fabric, ribbon, like the cost is not going down. So why not being able to take advantage, cut out the retail or go straight to wholesale, and with a large group that can be possible. The next example I have is a worker co-op. A worker co-op is employee owned, and artists receive a salary instead of waiting for one of their pieces to sell, based on their hours worked within. Employees share the workload, administration, marketing, logistics. They all take turns in how the business is run, because there is no management. They manage themselves. And it's also a good way for workers to access like employment benefits, group insurance, as working collectively in a worker co-op. I have an example here of the Northern Star Originals out in Winnipeg. And this started off as women working in a community center in the 90s, creating star blankets. And they just sewed together, enjoyed their work, and created these pieces together. And they had been doing that for well over 20 years, selling these star blankets. But they were all taking turns and actually creating these items together. So each item was created collectively. So the last example I have is actually called a multi-stakeholder co-op. And a multi-stakeholder is when you have different classes of membership. So you could have workers, you could have the producers or artists, and you could have retailers, community members, but people who all will benefit from coming together in a cooperative sector, a setting, and understanding their roles and determining how each person will benefit. And each shareholder or the classes of membership will receive some sort of benefit in taking part. For this, the easiest, the clearest way of explaining this is a group we worked with. And this one is out of Lac-La-Biche, Alberta, called the Pewapisconias Indigenous Peoples Arts Co-op. They have 3 classes of membership. They have institutional, which is the Lac-La-Biche Friendship Center and Métis Crossing is under one share membership. And their purpose is they have gift shops and they want to sell products and have a steady stream of supply going to their gift shop. Then you have the Portage College that has an Indigenous arts program where people learn how to like hone their skills and their craft. learn new methods of whether or not it's beadwork, drum making, sewing, uh, carving. And then so um, the college really wanted to help create opportunities for their graduates of their program. And then you have the artists who have actually gone through these programs. And prior to the co-op, they had no place to actually, like it was up to them to create their own small businesses to sell their items. But coming together in the cooperative model, they were all able to work together um, to develop a structure that benefits all the way from the producers, the educational institution, and then the gift shop owners. So that was a lot of information in the last few minutes here. And it's just a very brief overview of like artisan cooperatives. So if you would like to sign up, we are going to have an artisan cooperative workshop where we actually dive deeper into some of these case studies on May 31st at 1 p.m. Saskatchewan time. So that is Mountain Time. You can visit yourwaytogether.ca/webinars to attend, to sign up to attend. So I'd like to thank you for your time. If you have any further questions, I will take questions, but if you have joined today and decide that you want to learn more or you want to explore your idea a little bit further, please feel free to send me an email or give us a call. And I would definitely take appointments. I'd like to meet you either virtually or on over the phone. For any of your questions, we can discuss your idea. And for those who are unaware, we do have a Facebook group called Your Way Together. So I feel free to share and join the group and questions. So we do have a this is being recorded, so we will be posting it on Your Way Together. Is there any questions? Okay. Well, thank you very much for attending. Please keep in touch. And yeah, I hope to talk to you soon, and I hope to see everybody in the upcoming workshop. Have a great day.